Even at majors, man. Like, bro, like we don't have any like team tournaments like that anymore. It's just TOs don't got time for it. There's not a lot of reasons to like come out and like do stuff, you know. For example, I run a monthly at bar fights. It's not a tournament, but everybody just goes there and play. But the cool part about bar fights is like you're at a bar. So if you're not playing, you could like grab a drink, eat, and then they have arcades. And also they have setups where they have like Nintendo 64, so people can play like Mario Kart. So it's like a lot of stuff that you can do there. I think for locals to survive, they need to have a variety of all of that. If we don't have a variety of all of that, then you're not going to last long. What's going on, guys? We are back today, and I want to go ahead and talk about, is Rollback really killing the local scenes right now? It's been a huge topic. A lot of people have been saying, like, man, locals are dead. But this is what I think is going to happen with locals and what's going on with locals. This is my take. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know how you guys feel about this video. But let's jump into it right now. We're in a very interesting timeline, guys. And when I say interesting timeline, it's like we're like in a very nice balance. But it's a good balance, but we need to like make it more healthy balance, if that makes sense. This is going to be a really good topic, I think. Now, a lot of people, now that Rollback has been here, you know, a lot of people are saying like, there's no reason to go to locals. Everybody only goes to the big majors, and that's it. Everybody else stays online. People say online is the future. And then when people start realizing that online has issues, people say, wow, online sucks. One of the biggest reasons why Rollback is doing better than locals right now, obviously, is accessibility. While it do create accessibility, I do feel like it removes a lot of skills that you wanna have overall. There's some people that can't really go to any tournaments because of where they at. It's unfortunate that that's how it is, but yeah, we're living in a place where like, yeah, some people don't have cars, man. Cars are goddamn expensive. They went up on cars. You know, imagine going to a local, $15 registration, $30 Uber. You go 0-2. You chill there, and then you spend $30 to go back home. So you just spent almost $100, where you could go 0-2 at home for free. A venue in Vegas called Press Start actually just closed down after 9 great years. They did amazing work for the community, and one of the first places I found my bearings as a fighting game player. Local venues that supported fighting games hold a special place in my heart. That being said, fighting games are in a much different spot than when UMBC3 released. That had abysmal online play, a lobby system that made me prefer stepping on Legos. As a result, as many ways to play the game was in person, so these venues were home to me. Nowadays, people playing online on games with Rollback Netcode are showing up to offline events, placing top 8. Advent of better online play as manufactured at home champions. I like that. At home champions. So why go to play the local venues? Why you exist on both sides of the coin here? So let's explain that. Some people don't really have a venue that is too close, and therefore will have to travel incredibly far, get even good practice. Now you can play games from home for hours and spend no money on the occasion. Wallets be blessed. Shout outs to the wallets. Wallets definitely are the biggest winners. Offline, network and build relationships. Online chatting has never been easier, but nothing beats the quality of real human interaction. Easy joke, touch grass, but really, when so much human communication is rooted in body language, you miss out on this with just online. Online has never been easier to find events. If you follow on social media that runs tournaments on any sort of social media, you'll very quickly find tournaments where you can develop your skills as a competitor. The accessibility just lies in how often you can sign up. Offline, the moments create themselves. Community can be built anywhere, but it can be realized in moments you share together. This is somewhat achievable online, but they become so much more memorable. You can share them in person with others. Yeah, like the cool moments of like being able to like hang out and like play and things like that, and like, you know, go out to eat and things like that is so great. And I think this is such a huge thing to like have, right? But I think people are never experienced this, so it's kind of hard to like convince somebody to go. Because I have a lot of people that actually was just like, man, I really want to go to this tournament, but I'm very nervous. I'm very shy. So like, there are people that just never really experienced this thing like this, or like don't have like an expectation. So it's really hard to really push those individuals out. But there's a lot of those people that are around, and it's nothing to like be ashamed of. And I'm not here to like dog you either. I'm not trying to dog you. I think it's a very strong thing to actually go up and go, you know. So where does this leave us? In short, online seems to funnel well into offline events, and I think local venues will get more value on higher quality monthlies instead of higher volume weeklies. If FGC can grind at home, can show their efforts at a local, something to think about. Yes, this is actually 1,000% the way. I think we shouldn't have weeklies anymore. I think we should have big monthlies, and I think those monthlies should do a big promotion every month where they kind of like what the Killstage kind of do, where the Killstage will host a Skullgirls tournament, and he'll promote that Skullgirls tournament with a huge deadline. And within those deadlines, you get matcherinos and things like that, and boosted and stuff like that. And I think what people should do, I think online tournaments who run offline tournaments should actually promote big monthlies and advertise those monthlies as well, so people could also know that this is happening. And if they're watching it, they could be like, hey, I'm in the area, I could probably check that out. I think regionals are suffering in the same position where locals are at. Like, no one goes to regionals anymore. If it, honestly, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. If it isn't the big four, yeah, Combo Breaker, CEO, Evo, Frosties, and CEO Taku. No one goes to those tournaments. No one barely even knows about the tournament. The only time people know about it is when a person that has a huge following or stream brings the name up. Another thing too is online Rollback Netcode is showing up to offline events, placing top 8. Yeah. So lately for, I want to say, Melty Blood and Strive, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those are the two biggest games where the rollback for those games, a player who don't go offline has been winning all of the offline tournaments, right? I think those are the two biggest games that I could think of. I guess you could add Street Fighter now to it, right? Because that Colleen player, he never been to an offline tournament. Yeah, Kiwana. So yeah, I think that had to be his first American tournament. Yeah, Ninja Killer as well. So those 3 games, all those games have very, very similar things, which is rollback, right? So now these people are now playing these games, doing well, winning, and voila. I generally do think that having rollback, it's good. I think what's happens now is if you pay attention to these players who are like constantly winning, when you sit home and you practice all day and you don't have any real life priorities outside of just playing online and rollback is actually a good way to have people nowadays do well, because there's no stress, you have nothing to lose, and you are playing until you get to the golden ticket, right? And with these online tournaments, you can gamble constantly. Do online tournaments have entry fees? Nope. Most of them, I think the only people that charge is Yikes, Can Opener, and Bums. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not only that it's accessible, but online allows people to keep playing with no risk. I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest. People who are trying to get into the foot of things, they don't want to risk a loss to see how things are. Risk-free is definitely a lot of ways that people want to try things, right? Some people just turn away. Other people do mad research to see if they can really get the worth out of their buck. I think another thing that makes online tournaments more of a factor is it's easy to get opportunity. If you notice, most people who are picked up by a team right now and the games that I named are all from playing online. They enter a big tournament, it was free, and they played and they won. Now for offline, it's harder to do that because not every week was a big major. It's repercussion of what Rollback did. Rollback created champions, but Rollback also killed authentic competition and rivalry. Everything else now is made by whack. That's why you don't see a lot of rivalries anymore, because nobody wants to play. Everybody just wants to win money because that's all we have. So everybody is playing to just make the buck, which if that's what you want to do, that's totally okay. No hate, but that's what just happens. Probably why Latif versus Otashi was hype. we don't say ever because of the distance. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Ajax, is I thought the lead up to Hotashi versus Latif was hype, but I felt like the match was not hype. I feel like once we got to the moment, it was not as hype as the initial conversation. Why? Because they tried playing each other before it happened. When it finally had into the match, I wasn't as excited as I thought I was going to be. I like watching rivalry matches, and I wasn't as hyped. But you know what, though? I'm going to tell you what match was really hype, and that was SoCal versus Midwest Street Fighter. I felt like that was hype. The only thing that I could say that was an issue with it was Rob was making too many excuses. But outside of everything that, I felt like everything was phenomenal. The build-up was really good. The story was pretty good. And then at the end was really good. I felt like that was super, 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 super nice. Another thing that I thought was really hype too was Kuztic versus Pump. When Kuztic won and he asked for the run back, Kuztic was like, nah, come back and then we'll play. Instead of just playing again, he said, come back and then we play. Now, honestly, as much as we want to see it now, that the build-up is going to be better. You know, he was talking. He had to hold that. He had to let it sizzle in. But nowadays, what happened was if a big rivalry happened and you guys play every week, it's boring to watch. It's not a rivalry anymore if you're just constantly playing. I think another thing that's really important too, commentary. Commentary also keeps the chat and the matches exciting to watch, especially when people get who knows, what they're talking about. I think those are the really good things that we gotta start doing to really uplift locals, because if locals stay every week and Rollback is coming out in every game, locals are going to die. Bi-weekly can be good, and the reason why I said it can be good, but it's not good for the people who can't make it there. And the reason why is because you guys, I feel like people who are out of town, who's out of the way, who can't have a ride, should probably plan around people who have rides to try to bring them along to take them to the event. Right now, we don't have a lot of structure of people being like, hey, I'm from this region, I want to try to go to this tournament, but I don't have a way to go. Anybody around this area? I think there should be a Discord for that. I'm surprised there hasn't been an FGC local matchmaking Discord. I think that'd be really nice. And the way how I'm structuring it in my head is you join the Discord, you pick what region you are from, and then within that region, it shows up all of the locals for that region event. Whether if it's an hour away, 2 hours away, then it's 45 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. However much you can drive from there. And people click on it and be like, hey, this local is happening. You look at it like, hey, can anybody pick me up? I'm out of town. I'm not out of town. I'm out of the way, and I need help getting there. I feel like there's legal issues with creating Discords. Is it? I guess so. And I'm not making a Discord just for hitchhiking. I'm creating the Discord to have locals, and if you need to, if you know when your locals are happening, and you're using it for not only to get there, a person who isn't in that Discord can also just go to the local. I'm just trying to spread the awareness to keep it alive, because I just think right now there's no promotion, or there's no advertising for these events. Not everybody sees it, and your favorite person doesn't see it either. Or your favorite person just don't talk about it. So I'm thinking that's another reason, that's another way of helping locals stay healthy. I think people just don't know how to they don't know how to sell themselves, or sell their tournaments, or sell the organizers. They just don't know how to do it. No one's gonna know anything if you don't say anything about it, right? That's just how it works. And I think that's the biggest issue that we have right now. It's we just don't know. I think regionals are dying too, man. When I was doing World 8 locals, I made a point to have casual for people chilling. Yeah, I think we just don't have casual, and there's no time for casual. So I think that doing stuff with, just doing stuff, activities and stuff like that, will encourage people to show up. I think that might be the play, Even at majors, man. We don't have any team tournaments like that anymore. It's just TOs don't got time for it. There's not a lot of reasons to come out and do stuff, For example, I run a monthly at bar fights. It's not a tournament, but everybody just goes there and play. But the cool part about bar fights is you're at a bar. So If you're not playing, you could like grab a drink, eat, and then they have arcades. And also they have setups where they have like Nintendo 64, so people can play like Mario Kart. So it's like a lot of stuff that you can do there. Yeah, it's just not about like tournament. And I think that is another reason what's going on. We're now to a point in our event, people who are showing up are just not trying to be pros. And I think that's what a lot of organizers just have to understand. Not everybody is trying to be a pro. Everybody are just there because they want to vibe with the game that they like, casually, competitively, or they just want to go and just have fun. And I think we still are in an infrastructure where it's not about the fun part. It's about playing. And I think that's why locals are dying, because it's like, why would I want to go out there and go 0-2? Maybe that person just want to go 0-2 and just hang out. And yeah, spending like $80 just to do that and you can't do anything else. You're going to go out to eat afterwards. So it's just really bad. And I think we should have, I think for locals to survive, they need to have a variety of all of that. If we don't have a variety of all of that, then you're not going to last long. That's why the AZ event lasted and was doing great, because it was a casual event. And I'm sure that because it's a casual event, that means that a setup or a booth is not being held by a tournament. It's not being held by a tournament. So that means that if you see a person that you want to play, you can ask them, can I get next? Rather than being like, if it's tournament, and then you see them play, and they get up, and they got to play again. And then at that point, you're not going to wait 45 minutes for him to be done. You're going to play somebody else. And then you're going to forget that you wanted to play that person that whole time. But now, with casuals, you don't have to be concerned about that. You sit down and you play. You play everybody. You can walk over, hey, can I play here? Hey, can I play here? You can talk to people. You'd be like, damn, this person's not so bad as I thought they were. Oh, this person's really nice. Oh, I'm learning this. But when you play online, you don't get that access. Because for one, when you play online, you can't even like have a full-on blown conversation. You're locked with like 15 letters. Like if you play somebody in Strive right now, somebody's like, I need, can you give me advice? Can you literally write a whole advice down? You have to write it in sections because it's too many words. It's too many letters. So actually, when you go to a casual big event, you get learning experience. Now you have to please all of these players. You have to please all of these attendees now. This is how it is. Things change. And I think if we don't do that, locals are going to be gone, bro.